What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Today I am talking about Godzilla -1. Why is it called Godzilla -1? I'm not quite sure, but we'll talk about that by the end. But the movie is titled Godzilla -1 and it is a 2023 release. It is currently in theaters right now. I went to go see it myself last Friday and it was awesome. So great visually, everything you want, everything you wanted to expect. I think I do like the look of the American Godzilla a little bit more, but this look of this Godzilla is frightening. This Godzilla is much more frightening. He just is here to fuck shit up. Look at him just destroying this town, but he just looks so crispy, right? Like the blue, like the charge up atomic breath that this Godzilla has is much more badass, where the other one's much more like dragon breath, like just you know, it's kind of like just what was that? It's kind of just like this flame that the other Godzilla has, where this one, we'll talk about it more in a second, but this one's like an atomic blast, like a bomb, like it's nuts. But I also like this movie, the first time we see him, he's like a smaller Godzilla. You know, like we see him on an island and we're like, I thought Godzilla was supposed to be the size of a building. He's only like the size of like a tower, like a, you know, a light tower, like a, you know, like a military tower. The Watchtower. All along the Watchtower. Jimi Hendrix, anyone? No. I'm sorry. But this Godzilla just goes around tail whipping stuff, and he is 3 C's capital thick. You know, like when he stands there and he's just got these big thick thighs, these little hands, like he really is dinosaur like. And he has that more of a old school guy in a costume feel, like this image here where he's just kind of like you know, like it feels like the old Godzilla movies, but it's also more modern. So there's some really badass scenes, like this scene where they're on the boat and this thing's popping up. Like I thought it was simultaneously terrifying because I'm identifying with the guys on the boat that are running away from this fucking ginormous sea monster, and at the same time I'm laughing because look at just Godzilla's face. He's just like, come here, I want to eat you, I'm gonna eat you, come here. You know, like he's like, like he's right on their tail, like just like, I want a nibble, give me a nibble, you know. Like, that's the whole time. And then finally they give him the snack that he wants, and they throw a bomb in his mouth, and then he has to shoot the bomb. The bomb explodes, half of his face explodes, and then it heals, which I haven't seen Godzilla heal like that. He heals almost like Wolverine. He heals like almost immediately. But then we see Godzilla get lit up. Actually, I think this might be right after, and he's healing, and his like cheek is blown up, and his face is like he's charred. Like this Godzilla's face, like he's almost smiling right there, but he's like crispy. He's like charred. He's like, oh, he's been through some shit, this Godzilla. But the first time we actually see him, like the whole time, like, you know, we see him at first from a spotlight, and you're like, whoa, holy shit, like, he's screaming, and then he's stepping on people, and I loved the original shots that we see of him. It's like we see a foot, and then we see a tail, and then we see a hand, and then we see a foot, you know, and we see a step, and then we see a tail, and then we see a step, but we never see all of him in frame all at once. And then we see it from like his perspective. He's like running underneath the plane. You see like the 2 feet and like the underneath of him and like his tail. It's like you see him turn around, but you don't see all of him. And then finally we hear boof, 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 and she's on a train. Kiriko, the wife, if you would. But what I really loved about this movie, other than the visuals and Godzilla's side of it, the characters. The cast of this was very small cast, but I'm going to do my best to pronounce these, but I'm butchering it, so here's an image of all the cast in this. But the main character, Koichi Kishima, I think, but Koichi, he's the main character, and he's like a kamikaze pilot. So you start with him young, and then he gets older, and then he gets a little bit older, he gets a little bit older. But he's with Noriko and their baby Akiko, And the little baby, she does a great job in this movie. She cries on like command, or I hope they're not like behind her pinching her or whatever, like doing the old filmmaking techniques. But the cast on this wasn't a very big cast, but all of them had great character arcs, great character moments, character building. Shout out to the director, Takashi Yamazaki. He did a great job. He says he wants to go on to like a Star Wars project or something. Like, that would be cool if the same visual filmmaking was done in this and like a Star Wars. That would be cool. Like a giant kaiju monster in Star Wars. That'd be interesting. But shout out to the cast and crew. But this girl playing Noriko, she's on a train heading into work, and she turns around and you see this window shot of Godzilla, and then we finally see the like all of him, but you know, they pan in from like the feet and they go up to him, and then he right, so we get the screaming shot of him with the big spikes over his head. Like, it looks wild, this image here. But the music, right, they bring back the old Godzilla score, the bow 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 bow. No. Nope, sorry, that's a different song. And now I have to play it. Ugh. Does anyone know this song that has the Godzilla beat at the beginning, but then they turned it into like a badass song? Oh man, it's freaking amazing. Yeah, here it is. Simon Says by Pharaoh Monch. This is it, the Godzilla team. Oh. They just turned the Godzilla beat into like this kick-ass song. Get the fuck up. Sorry. That's called Simon Says, if anyone wants the song. But I hope I don't get copyright from that. But that's what, you know, they play the bam, 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 bam. Only if they drop the bam, 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 bam. Oh, get the fuck, you know, like, oh, it's such a gangster song. But they, you know, I never realized that it was the OG Godzilla thing that was the start of that song. And it fits so perfectly in this. But Noriko saves the main character, and then he goes back and, you know, is taking care of the baby. And the baby's neither of their child. Like, she found the child's taking care of him. He's not with her. She's not with the baby. And it's like kind of them trying to start a family and build together. But this is also like World War II, you know, like, so this is almost a World War II movie disguised as a Godzilla movie. Instead of a Godzilla movie, you know, just being about Godzilla. Like, it's not the American Godzilla at all. It's entirely in Japanese, but I loved it. It was a fantastic movie, and I can't say enough good things about it. 4.5 out of 5 stars for me, about a 9 out of 10. Fantastic. I had a great time. Can't recommend it enough. Go watch it. I also watched 1998's Godzilla last night with Matthew Broderick, my OG Godzilla that I grew up with. So going from OG Godzilla to this, which one do I like more? Godzilla Minus One is a far superior story, but I still love the 98 Godzilla. I really do. So stay tuned for the next video. We'll be talking about the 98 Godzilla coming out later today. And stay tuned for that. And I'll see all you beautiful people in the next video. Please comment below, like this video, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys with more movie reviews in the future. Stay tuned. Peace.